Welcome in everybody to Fantasy Pros. This is the trade live stream. It is me, Joey P. Joe Pisapia. With me, of course, is Andrew Erickson, the Undertaker. It's all you hanging out here in the chat. Super chats are enabled, so we'll get them all guaranteed in the opening of the show. At some point, we will cut them off as we always do. And of course, we like to give away free stuff too. This week's giveaway is the TrophySmack Fantasy Loser Toilet Seat. That's right. What goes great with any home, whether you're renovating it or not? The Fantasy Loser Toilet Seat. The perfect gift this holiday for the fantasy loser in your league. Or if you're the fantasy loser, you could just keep it yourself. How do you win it? You subscribe to the channel, you like the stream, you drop your comments below, and you ring the bell till it goes ding so we can let you know if you are the winner of the TrophySmack Fantasy Loser Toilet Seat. TrophySmack, the #1 destination for epic fantasy football hardware. All right, Andrew, you ready to tackle some trades today, my friend?
Let's do it.
All right. By the way, news breaking, Joe Flacco might not play this week, so all of my T. Higgins, Jahmyr Chase shares are very sad by that news. Just very sad. So we'll see as time goes on. Here's one from Harmon. Howdy. Howdy is going. I have Hurts, Rico. I'm sorry. Hurts, Rice, Nico, CMC, Derrick Henry, Bowers, Vidal. I need a wide receiver. Trade Bowers and Nico for Ferguson and Egbuka. Is that a trade you'd want to do?
You're getting Egbuka, which I definitely want. You're getting Ferguson.
It's difficult because Egbuka and Ferguson have been the guys that have performed better this year. But Bowers and Nico are the guys with the draft capital who are supposed to be better this year. So that, to me, is the conundrum of this trade.
Is Egbuka not the best piece, though?
In my opinion, he is.
Yeah. And then I think even if Bowers outproduces Ferguson the rest of the way, I don't think Ferguson's going to just like completely dud out where you're, I need a new tight end. So I think you're getting the best piece. So I think that it's a fair deal for a receiver.
Would you trade Henry and Nico for Jahmyr Chase or keep it as it is, especially now with the Flacco news?
I don't feel confident recommending to trade for Chase if Joe Flacco's shoulder's falling off and Jake Browning's that's going to tank Chase. That's so bad.
Jake Browning, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, here's one from NN here. 5-3, third place, but I don't think the team is good enough to win. Josh Allen for Bijan. Would you do that trade here in this certain circumstance? The QB would then pivot to Flacco and Darnold on the waiver wire. So Darnold would be the answer.
So you own a streaming quarterbacks essentially, based on the running backs. And I guess
running backs are Davante Williams, Trayvon Henderson, Marks, Monangai, too. No, I think you do this deal.
Bunch of rookies. Yeah, I'd rather just play the streaming quarterback's been pretty solid this year. There's a lot of options. So Justin Fields is also on the waiver wire, so you can stream him before he loses his job again.
All right, let's go to Ty's question here. Ty's got two here. Traded Chase Brown, Judkins, and Gadsden for Josh Jacobs. What do you think of that deal?
It's a lot for Josh Jacobs, but I don't know if there's going to be anyone stopping his touchdown streak, so I'm fine with it.
And then the other deal was traded Ladd and Harvey for McLaurin and Tracy.
No. McLaurin's injured again. And I think Tracy, yes, he's the guy now, but the Giants, what's the ceiling with the Giants offense if you're not Cam Scatterbo? That's my concern.
Limited.
How much Tracy, because a lot of what Cam Scatterbo was doing was because of him, right? Because of how good he was playing. The Giants have a tough schedule rest of the way. And although I do think Tracy's pretty good, I think Ladd is the best piece of that deal.
All right, next question here. I have Nico, Collins, Robadunze, Garrett Wilson, George Pickens. Send Nico and Pickens for Ceedee Lamb. You want to take that upgrade?
Yep.
Is that too much to give, though? Because then it just leaves you with Adunze and Wilson, who are not... Wilson's not healthy, and Adunze last couple of games has not been great because Caleb Williams has not been great.
Well, Adunze was good last week, and he's facing the Bengals and Giants the next 2 weeks. So I like that.
Do you like the matchups there? Okay, let's go to Coke Butter Cheese question here. Lost Scadaboo traded Devonta Smith, Dak, Harvey for Jalen Warren, Baker Mayfield. I have May, Hall on a bye, and Hampton on IR. Good trade or not? Devonta Smith, Dak, and Harvey, and got back Jalen Warren and Baker.
Okay, so I like getting Jalen Warren. Let's say Dak and Baker is a wash, whatever. Although I think I'd like Dak a little bit more, just because what he's done this year. So then Davante and Harvey for Warren seems kind of like an overpay.
I think Warren is steady. I just,
I like Warren a lot. I mean, the Steelers have
I feel
really
like you
good
should have
schedule
gotten
rest of the season.
somebody
Yeah,
better than Warren, though. But it is what it is at this point. Who are some players you think will be traded at the deadline? This is from Coke Butter Cheese, too.
Sheed. I think he's definitely getting traded.
Who would you say? I'm sorry?
Sheed.
Rashid Shaheed. What about the fact Tony Pollard wasn't seen at practice today? Could that be a trade, or is that an injury-related thing?
No, I think that's also. I think it's more likely Pollard gets traded than Breece Hall does. So
Okay.
I don't think Breece Hall is going to get traded. Like that would be my guy that I think has been floated around enough. I don't think it's actually going to happen because I think Aaron Glenn sees Breece Hall and he's like, if I trade this guy away, like I'm definitely going to not win more games.
Yeah, but I mean, they need draft capital. They need more players than Breece Hall. And I'm running back to one spot where they're good. They have Braylon Allen coming back next year.
I mean, yeah, but he's injured though. Like, how is he come back from
next year? Like, they're a next year mode already. They're 2026. They're the Jets. They're 1-7. This is not good. Trade Kincaid, Spears, and Godwin for Bowers and Tracy. This is a roll of the dice that I do. I want Bowers and Tracy for sure.
Yeah. I think that's a good deal to make.
I think that's a pretty easy one there. Next up here is Josh, 6-2, 14-team league. QB rest of season. You like Penix, Flacco, or Fields? Oof. Well, it can't be Flacco right now.
Flacco has the best schedule, but he's also injured. So, I think, I mean, when Fields plays, like he has the highest ceiling because of the rushing. So I guess it's him, but I'm not
tough because he's on a bye this week too. Trade Sutton and Benson for Odunze and Spears.
Yep, I would do that.
All right. I like Sutton the most of any of those four players, so I wouldn't do that, but I don't love Benson, so my concern with him makes me okay with it. Peter's next here. Hey, fellas, traded Tez for Benson. Start JCM or Woody this week? JCM's got a terrible matchup against Seattle this week.
Yeah, I think JCM's going to be on the bench, so I think Woody, that's also a bad matchup for him, but he does catch passes, and JCM doesn't catch passes, so I would go Woody Marks. I like the Benson for. I mean, Tez was a waiver wire guy. You just traded for potential starting running back, so I think that's smart. And then Watson or Franklin,
standard league. So
I would do Watson. Yeah. like Franklin monster last week. It's not happening this week against the Texans.
Good news for the Panthers. Bryce Young was a full participant in practice, so I guess they said, listen, kid, I don't care how bad that ankle is. You better tape that up because Andy Dalton was that bad this past week.
Yeah, he was terrible.
He was terrible.
Turning over machine.
All over the place. Zachary's up next here. Sutton and Nix for Amon-Ra. I have May quarterback. Yes, 100%.
This is a brilliant trade, Zachary.
Smash. Trade. Prime is beast, and hey, y'all, howdy. PPR trade Ferguson for Judkins or Dowdle.
Judkins.
Okay, and then need RB help, and Warren is my other tight end. You know, it's funny. We're looking at, even though Judkins missed the first couple weeks of the season, he is still top 11 in touches for anybody this year. I thought that was a shocking statistic we found out yesterday on the show. Michael Mr. Marowitz here, Gibbs and Tyler Warren for CMC and Chase Brown.
Not with this Joe Flacco thing. Like I'm like not gonna recommend people to buy Bengals. I don't know. Like, do you feel different? Do you think this is a buy the dip, or is it like no? This is like a scary thing because if he goes down, like this offense goes back to Jake Browning.
I think it does. Yeah,
which is way too risky.
It is. Look, I'll say this. Jake Browning a couple years ago was bad against good defenses and halfway decent against bad defenses. So now who are they playing this week? This is Cincinnati has who again?
They're playing the Bears. So it's a terrible defense.
Look, I mean, you also have to worry about the CMC workload too. Is it worth dropping to stash Benson if you don't have an IR spot? The bench is Franklin, JMO, Purdy, Booty. Well, I don't need a second quarterback. If Purdy's my second quarterback, I would drop him for Benson.
Yep. Yeah.
That's the first guy off the island. Franklin would be the second guy off the island. The last week was the week to own Franklin. Next up here is 4-4. No PPR. Want to trade Jordan Love and an RB to move up a tier. Running back is Henry, Irving, J. Will Vidal, and Dowdle. The wide receivers are Rice, Adams, Sutton, Tet, BTJ, and QJ. So want to trade Jordan Love and a running back to move up. So how do you want to do this here? You want to just get rid of Irving and try to get somebody more stable here in the next couple weeks ahead?
Yeah, I think that works. I mean, I would trade pretty much any of these running backs with Love to get Rice on my team.
Well, they have Rice on their team already.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right.
Trying to move up. See, here, I got to tell you something here. Looking at this here, you've already got King Henry who's getting Lamar back now. you've got Irving coming back. You got Javonte Williams and Vidal, and then Dowdle's got a bad matchup this week, but I think everybody realized that Dowdle is the guy, and now that Bryce Young is coming back, I don't think you have to move up a tier. I think you stay put. And if you deal Jordan Love, just, why don't you move up a tier at wide receiver? Trade Ted McMillan or BTJ with Jordan Love and see if you can move up there. That's what I would do.
Yeah.
I think that running back room is pretty good. Like, if theoretically.
Yeah, let's get Bucky back. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Vidal's holding it down in the meantime. Luke is up next here, 14-team league, so a little bit deeper. Trade which running back without killing my depth here? So the running backs are CMC, Javonte, Jaylen Warren, Benson, ATN. Look, Benson's the guy that has more theoretical value than actual value. So Benson is the guy that I would trade. How about you?
Yeah, either Benson or ATN.
Okay.
Sure, one of those guys.
Next question here. We have RDD. Sup, bros? Traded, let's see, Josh Allen, Kamara for Rice and Swift last week. I also have Dak already. So basically it was Kamara for Rice and Swift. So this is a smash. You did great.
Oh, man,
do I try to flip Swift and plus a wide receiver for Judkins? Swift and Myers, Moore, Pierce, Watson. I would let them pick any one of those guys to move to Judkins.
Yep.
And,
dealer's choice.
Yeah. Nope. That's what you do. Forget about injury insurance. You're good. You got enough there here. Boy, they're coming in quickly now here too. So super flex, super chats, by the way, we will cut them off at some point. So just keep an eye on those, Seth. Let me know when we get to the trigger point. I think we're closing in. Lily's up next. Walker or Knight for this week in PPR?
I will go with Ken Walker.
Okay. Next up here is Cher's question here. Do you believe in life after love? That's the question from Cher. Andrew, do you? Okay.
Of course.
The football question is, have PPR Bijan for Achane and Odunze or London and Montgomery? I want Bijan on both of those deals.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, pass? You can't be selling Bijan after two stinkers. Like, that's like just no. Like, no.
That's a frustration trade that you learn to regret. I think 2 weeks later.
Yeah, don't tilt trade. You got to just shut the computer off, walk away.
Should I try to trade Chris Godwin? You can try. I just don't know what you're going to get for him. There might be some people that think after the break he comes back healthy. I think now is probably the best time to trade him because it's still theoretical.
Could you trade Chris Godwin for Juwan Jennings?
Probably, maybe.
That's what I would do. He's also been
would you trade him for
pretty bad.
Would you trade him for Christian Watson?
Yeah, I mean, I think Watson has more upside than Godwin does. So.
I do too. That's why I brought it up. But on paper, that looks like a one-sided trade for Godwin, but I don't know if it is necessarily. Gentlemen, thoughts on Vidal rest of season? Trade away Adams and Vidal for Barkley and Bigsby. I'm 6-2. So you want the Eagles backfield, or do you want Adams and Vidal?
I'm not the person to ask for trading for Saquon Barkley. Like, it's tough for me to gauge because I have no, but I understand that there's like a price with every kind of player to acquire. So I think that this is fair for the Eagles running backs. Obviously Vidal does have a shelf life in terms of Hampton comes back. He's probably going to be phased out, but right now, like, he has a lot of actual value. You get talking about like theoretical value, like Vidal's actually scoring fantasy points for you, which is good. You're 6-2. I guess if you feel like you're pretty good in a good spot right now, I think maybe going ahead to the Eagles. I don't know, Joe. Is this a smash for you, or is it kind of like eh?
It's not a smash for me. Look, this is a deal that I make if I have great wide receivers, and I mean I'm just loaded. I got Rushy Rice back. I got like I'm just stacked. Like, Adams is my third or fourth guy. Then okay, because then I'm solidifying running back. But that's the only way I do this deal because I'm not sold on the fact that Vidal Hampton just comes back healthy at all, let alone healthy enough to go for it here. So like I said, I'm not looking to make that deal necessarily, especially Barker's got a groin injury. They can tell me all they want that it's fine. I didn't look very fine when it happened.
Yeah.
So that was concerning.
In the Eagles run game, again, it's looked good against the Giants. Like that, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And that includes Tank Bigsby too. Like,
Chick is up next here. I traded Sutton and Marvin Harrison for Davante Adams. How did I do?
I think that it's fine. You're definitely giving up like depth, and Harrison plays Dallas this week, so maybe you would have held on for one more week because he should theoretically go off, especially if Jacoby Brissett starts. But I think it's a good return.
Also, start Pickens or London. Well, London might not be healthy, so right now I'll be leaning towards Pickens. How about you?
Yeah, I think you guys got to stay in the Pickens Flames. Like Dak's probably going to bounce back, and London also has Gonzalez this week, who's just a really, really good corner. You know he's going to match up with Drake London, and I think that's a matchup too, because Gonzalez is going to be all over London, and you know he's not one of these like he's going to have like 5 yards of separation. He'll win some contested situations, but Falcons right now the vibes are kind of not great. Penix is banged up, London's banged up with a hip injury. I think that Pickens has been good, so just keep playing Pickens.
Did we get any update on Kyler Murray yet this week?
So we had one thing with Jonathan Gannon saying they asked him about it in a meeting or one of the press conferences, and he did not sound like overly optimistic that Murray was going to be playing on Monday night, which, again, off a bye week, I think is kind of like a red flag where, oh, no, we're ready to get Kyler Murray, put him out against the Dallas Cowboys, like he's going to smash. It was like, I mean, that's a hypothetical. Maybe he plays. We don't know. It's like, okay.
Wow. Well, I hope he doesn't because I got Brissett in the Superflex League and I really want to play him this week against Dallas. So, all right, Christopher's up next here. Trade Ceedee and Warren for Chase and Dowdle. Right now, that's a very difficult trade. I think I want Ceedee and Warren right now under the current guides.
I got to press pause on these Bengals guys. I don't know. Yeah. Like, especially because like I don't know if you're really going to get much of a discount. Yeah. I don't know.
All right, let's go to Mild's question. Hey, bros, just traded Tet McMillan and KW3 for Saquon in my 14-team league. I have Ceedee, Nico, Waddle, and Pearsall. How did I do? So Tet and KW3 for Saquon, I think that's a great trade. Even if you don't like Saquon, I think it's tremendous in a 14-team league.
Yeah.
Because KW3 and Tet McMillan don't move the needle. Saquon does. Saquon is capable of having those massive games. Ricky's up here. Trade away my PPR, Keenan or Debo for Rico Dowdle. I think either, but I'd prefer Debo because rest of season, I'm always worried about him staying healthy.
Yeah, you got to trade Debo.
Okay, there you go. I'm trying, Andrew, in the couple spots that I have him. Loud Bark, trade DK, Woody, and Tez for CD Lamb. Sure, that's the classic pile up a bunch of crap for a great player, which I would laugh you out of the room there. Loud, don't send me that. I just don't think that's enough for CD. I don't think that's a good trade for CD Lamb personally, but what are you going to do? If you get it, great. I would say, bro, if you sent me that trade, that's what I would say. Here's DK Metcalf and a bunch of crap for CD Lamb. No. Let's go to, I'm 3-5 here. It hurts so bad. I have Bowers and Warren at tight end. I just traded Warren and Brees for Genty and Nico. Does it still hurt so bad? I had Bowers and Warren at tight end. Just traded Warren and Brees for Genty and Nico. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, you just need this crop of Nico, Genty, and Bowers to hit like we thought they would hit in the beginning of the season. Yeah. This is a classic, like you're buying low on guys that have relatively versus expectation underperformed the first 8 weeks, but guys that we do believe in. So if the Raiders can come out guns blazing out of the bye week, maybe, who knows? I think that this is a good deal to make as a 3-5 team.
Let's get to, sorry, not a trade question. That's okay. Avram wants to know, lost Scattaboo, pick up Brown, Walker, Bill, Mason, or Marks in the half PPR.
Is this Chase Brown?
I guess. I mean, Brown would still be the guy I'd want.
Yeah. Again, you would figure that if it is Jake Browning or a limited Joe Flacco, they will lean on the run game a little bit more, and the Bears can't stop anything, regardless if it's a run game or pass game. So you could see Chase Brown having a decent outing here. So I think that I would just pick up Chase Brown and see how this kind of shakes out.
All right. And last question there. PPR, ATN, Harvey, Mason, Bill, Vidal, or Marks. Who do you want to play there? I mean, I play ATN here this week. I think
I'm playing Vidal.
Oh, no, Vidal. Pardon me. I forgot Vidal was in that. Titans, baby. Vidal, let's go.
They traded away half their secondary this week.
The only quote that Seth found about Kyler Murray was he's doing, quote unquote, better. So we'll see what that means. All right, we are going to cut off right now at 20 minutes into the show at 3:20. Officially, the super chats from guarantees, so please don't drop any more. We can't guarantee we have enough time to answer them all, but don't worry because we've got tools for you as well, including the Trade Analyzer, which is a tool that you can use to evaluate trades in your league and crush your competition. That's what you want to do. Make the moves here before the real NFL trade deadline by downloading the FantasyPros app, syncing your leagues for free, and using the Trade Analyzer, one of the many incredible tools at FantasyPros. So Don't make a move before you use that trade analyzer. All right, next up here is Dominic, our friend here from Las Vegas we hung out with last year. I have T-Mac, Nico, Waddle, and Pittman. Other guy has Kyron, Javante, JT, and Swift. I need a running back. What's the trade to make? So T-Mac, Nico, Waddle, and Pittman. The other guy is Kyron, Javante, JT, and Swift. Well, I'd love to get Jonathan Taylor, but I don't know if you could do that.
I just assume that no one would trade away JT, so I don't even suggest ideas to do it.
Breaking news, Terry McLaurin re-injured his quad and is out for week 9. So there you go.
And this is
another late contract holdout, another late season that never comes to fruition. You could set your watch to it every year. The longer they hold out, the more time they miss in the season. Every single damn year. It's unbelievable. Glad he got paid, though.
Yeah, he got paid, so as long as he's happy, that's all that matters. I would say, so among these running backs, who do I want the most? It's probably Javante.
How about T-Mac for Javante? That's a deal I'd make.
Yeah, I think that could work. Nico for Javante, I'd be fine. Honestly,
I don't want to trade Nico. I want to keep Nico. I think Stroud is getting comfortable again. Nico is a very good player.
He's going to be uncomfortable against Denver's pass rush this week.
It's all right. That's fine. T-Mac is the guy that I want to. Well, remember, Denver also is missing a key guy on the secondary. Let's not forget. He's out. Yeah, but
they still got a nasty pass rush, and the Texans' offensive line still can't block.
Adams for Sutton. I mean,
I'd rather have Adams.
Lateral. I think I'd rather have Adams, too. Even with Puka back, right?
Yeah.
Start 1 PPR, Stevenson or Charbonnet? Ugh, gross.
I will start Charbonnet.
Ramondre Stevenson not spotted at practice today, by the way. That's good.
Someone in the chat was saying that is he going to get traded, and I don't think that's the case. I think because what I was reading is the Patriots want to trade for another running back, which if they brought in Tony Pollard, oh my God, please.
Travion Henderson's just starting to do stuff. Why would we do that?
Of course, they got to trade for another running back.
But then he fumbled. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that at all. Well, I understand depth-wise maybe they want because Gibson was out. Yep. Like that I get. If they're trying to pick up a depth guy, that's fine.
I mean, if they get Tony Pollard for
he's not a depth guy.
His salary hit next year is really not that much. Like it's not a lot. That's why it's easy for teams to trade for him.
I guess. So. Bobby, howdy. Trade Waddle and Judkins for Jefferson and Bam Knight.
No.
Jefferson's the best player in the deal, but the problem is his quarterback situation is really sketchy right now.
Yeah, I would rather. I mean, Bam Knight. I don't know how long he's going to have value for. I mean, that could be over.
Yeah,
pretty quick.
The Bam part is too much. I say no too. I'm with Andrew.
I mean, Waddle he's had one bad game since Tyreek Hill got hurt. He's been really good with Tua. So I would keep Waddle, and Judkins, is a monster. He talked about how many touches he's getting this year as long as he's healthy out of the bye week.
All right, King Andrew has a question. Hey, pros, I have Gibbs, Monty, Bam, Benson, Hunt, and Tyrone Tracy. Should I trade Hunt and Tyrone for Achane?
Yes.
Sure, but I don't think you can. But opponent has Pacheco and had Scatterbo. Look, I get it. Maybe desperation. Somebody makes a bad move like that. Good luck. I would say you can't pull that off. Should I take a flyer on Brashard Smith over J.K. Dobbins? No.
Like this week or rest of
the I assume this week.
No, I think you still got to play Dobbins. Sorry.
I agree. Let's go to Mr. Daniels' question here. Daniels and Sutton for Hunter and Lamar. Ooh, interesting. I just traded for Hunter today. I traded Jordan Mason for Travis Hunter in a league where I had enough running backs to make that kind of move. I think rest of season. It's the league I do with my daughter. This is her fantasy league that she does every year. She loves Travis Hunter. So I was like, all right, you like Hunter. Let's see if I can get Hunter for Mason. And I did. I was happy with it. I like getting Lamar and Hunter personally. I think Lamar is just that higher standard than anybody. Daniels is great. Lamar is still up here for me in like that rarefied air.
This seems like the Commanders, like it's just going in the complete wrong direction with everything. After last year, they were just sun running, and this year they are moon running or whatever you want to call it. The opposite, moon walking is what they're doing.
Right. And yeah, I finally beat Seth to a piece of news there. Usually he's ahead of me on the news. So that's why I have my FantasyPros app open at all times, because I get the news, little updates on all my players and stuff like that. So unfortunately, I have one or two McLaurin shares, and of course, I haven't been able to use them all year. And I took them at an extreme discount, and I'm still irritated about it. Daniel D. Swift for Davante Adams, I want Adams always. So that's easy for me. I don't care what the situation is. Go get Monangai too if he's out there. Pick one wave for rest of season. Slayton, Pierce, or Watson. Watson for me. How about you, Andrew?
This one is tough because I feel like this is the Spider-Man meme with these vertical receivers. Am I not wrong here? Like they all seem like the same guy where they could just pop off randomly. I don't think that any of these guys is like an
They
alpha.
are. Well, here's what I go to. Watson plays with Love. Pierce plays with Daniel Jones. Slayton plays with Jackson Dart. My confidence level in Love is higher than any of the other two. So I'm just going to go that route. I'm picking ecosystem here. That's how I'm doing.
And I think we could all probably agree, like who has the most talent of those receivers? It's probably Watson, right? Would you agree?
Theoretically, yeah, but I mean his health has been terrible. So now you've already.
He looked pretty good. His first game.
He looked pretty good.
So
he did. Do I trade away Justin Jefferson and George Kittle for Quinshawn and Bijan?
So those three guys for Bijan.
Kern, Jahmyr Chase. I already have Jahmyr Chase and Dalton Kincaid, Nico, and Drake London. I'm a little worried about London's health. I'm a little worried about Jahmyr Chase right now in that situation, but I can't say no to getting Bijan for Justin Jefferson. And then Quinshawn for Kittle is fine, depending on who you have taken over at tight end. I'm okay with this. I'm at peace with this. Everybody wants to trade Bijan. It looks like there's a window open to get Bijan.
I made a joke on the trade show that Bijan would have been my buy low, but I thought I would be ridiculed by suggesting that he was even a potential buy low candidate. But
considering all the... Well, this live stream is proving otherwise. Emeka Egbuka for Jaylen Warren. Already have JSN, Jefferson, Rice, and Sutton. Don't trade Emeka Egbuka for Jaylen Warren.
Much, yeah.
No. Just keep rolling with these big wide receivers.
Yeah.
How about Sutton? Would you Sutton for Warren?
I would rather do that, yeah.
Okay, so there you go. King Andrew's back again. Another one. Give Hunt, Bam, and McMillan for Puka. Sure, good luck with that. I'd laugh you out of the room. King,
I gotta see
think about the other perspective.
I want to see these happen. I hope these deals work. King.
There's no way you're getting that. No way. I'm trading Puka for that. Got offered London for Pickens. This is interesting here, rest of season. You know, I have to say, I think with Pickens looking to get paid, and the way this offense is running with Dak, and the way Atlanta has been very spotty up and down, and Penix's health is kind of in question, this is not a crazy question. I think I might even be leaning towards Pickens, and I don't like saying it.
If London was healthy,
Andrew's speechless. This is a hard thing because on the audio side of the show, there's going to be too much dead air. So you at least got to filibuster as you're making potential, moves here. That's what you got to do.
London, Pickens. So you're taking Pickens. I don't know if I think I don't have a side in this battle. It's too close. Because London's injured, that's kind of why I can't say he is if London was healthy, I would take London. So monitor the injury reports.
Yeah, I'm going Pickens there. Felix is 6-2. Need wide receiver, right? Gibbs, Bucky, Mason, Dowdle, Isaiah Davis, Brashard Smith. You got a lot of running back depth. Garrett Wilson, Ridley, Booty. Yeah, you need wide receiver. Okay, so look, you want to keep Gibbs, and I'll be honest with you, like Bucky, I still want to keep. Mason, I think, is up for grabs. I'd love to keep Dowdle if I can, but Brashard Smith, Spears, Mason, whatever those combinations you can get there and move, you move, and you go ahead. So I want to keep Bucky in this scenario because I think Bucky outperforms all those guys if he's healthy. But if Bucky can bring you back the immediate wide receiver to help, I'm okay with that too because I still like Dowdle moving forward. But the problem is none of these guys are reliable, really. So after Gibbs, that's my big problem. Bucky would be theoretically. So I would like to keep Bucky if I can. Mason, look, I just moved Mason for something. If you could move Mason and Brashard Smith for something, I think you do that. What do you think, Andrew?
Yeah, I like those types of deals. I would say I would take advantage of Knicks having 2 monster games back to back. You already have Daniel Jones. I think that's fine as your quarterback. So pairing Knicks with Mason to go up even higher at wide receiver. If the Egbuka manager has a bad quarterback, you want to be making deals with them to try to get Egbuka on your team, getting 2 Buccaneers, using Bo Nix as a part of that deal. Because I think that he's a pretty obvious sell high candidate after he just posted 2. I mean, basically, you could sell high on any quarterback after they face Dallas. Because chances are they probably won't have as good of a game against anybody else the rest of the way.
Yeah, I can understand that. Let's get to the next question here. What we have Marquis Alley is up next. Your Gibbs for CD Lamb. I have Warren, ATN, Marks, Brashard Smith, Monongai. Wide receiver room is London, Nico, Pearsall, Watson, and Ayuk. 14-team league. So these are tricky when you're dealing with these big players here. So basically, it's who would you rather have rest of season, and do you think that they have enough here at running back? So I assume they're trading Gibbs for CD is what I'm getting here. Because I know he leaves you with Warren and ATN. That's okay. The wide receiver room is pretty good. So if looking at this roster, what side of that deal do you want? Do you want CD or Gibbs? Because it's kind of unclear which one they're getting.
Yeah, this one is close because London, Nico, and CD Lamb, that would be an elite trio among wide receivers. But then, I mean, I like Warren rest of the season. ETN, I'm probably worried about. And then you have a bunch of rookie running backs. So I think that for this specific roster, I think I would lean on getting Lamb, banking on London and Nico having strong second halves after kind of like meh beginnings of the season, and then banking on Warren to be my veteran guy, and then just one of these rookie running backs breaking out. Like this happens all the time. Rookie running backs break out in the second half of the year. You got 3 shots on net. Only need one of them to kind of fill in that RB2 role, just because I do have concerns about ETN rest of season. So I think I would prefer Lamb for this team.
All right, it's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time to take a look at Hard Rock Sportsbook. They are the sponsor of our show. Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is top rated because, well, it's one of the better ones you're going to find anywhere if you're looking to bet on sports. Week 9 doesn't kick off till tomorrow, but there's still plenty of stuff you can bet on right now. You got World Series games, you got NBA, you got a lot going on. Plus, you've got the profit boost for Thursday night football. And if you want to parlay a few of those pieces together, well, you can always use the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app, some of the parlay boosts that they have over there. Plus, you've also got a $5 bet in there for new users. If it hits, you get 150 in extra bonus bets plus your winnings. So it's a great day to download the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app because tomorrow's Thursday night football and we are going to have you ready. So download the Hard Rock Bet app today, make your first deposit, and $5 wins get you 150 in bonus bets. Next up here is HF Daniel's question here. Fannin and Tet for Kraft and Hunter. So I want the Kraft and Hunter side. I don't know about you.
Always yes, Tucker Kraft.
I know. I mean, you're the Tucker Kraft guy. What's up, guys? This is from DJ Vince here. Hold BTJ, Bucky, T-Mac. Trade or hold them?
Trade BTJ, hold Bucky, buy T-Mac. There you go.
Oh, my goodness. Look at you. Making it into a game. Evan's up next. Up, gents. Kareem Hunt or Vidal this week? I would still want to play Vidal.
Vidal. Yep.
Hunt is so touchdown dependent here. Would you pick up Tucker, Pierce, Malik Washington, or Parker Washington? Any of those guys worth picking up for you?
Tucker, because I think that, I mean, Tucker does have a 3-touchdown game on his resume this year somehow.
Would you play them over QJ? Because I think that's the question here.
That's the question. I think, yeah, because I think we're going to get like Jacoby Myers is probably going to be inactive because he's probably going to get traded. And Trey Tucker against the Jags, it's a decent matchup. And Trey Tucker's been...
Do you think he's inactive, or do you think they've got to show that he's healthy before they trade him?
I think that if they want to trade him, they won't risk getting him injured.
It's fair. And then pick 3 from Dowdle, Hubbard, Charbonnet, P. Ryan, Dobbs, Pierce, or DK. Full PPR.
Okay.
Dowdle and Hubbard are in a bad spot here.
Sharbs. I'm probably still going to start Dowdle, though, just because of the other options. I still think he's good enough, and he should see the majority of work. And then probably Dubs. Romeo Dubs against Carolina. Okay. Also, too, remember Davante Adams? He was injured before he got traded, then he magically got healed last year.
Everything heals, right? You get traded. Love the show for years. Thanks. Appreciate you there, Fire. Been listening close to Joe and Andrew. Was able to flip May for Swift and cleared out Seattle backfield for Egbuka. Great. Oh, I love the second one. That's definitely a win. So, I mean, I don't like trading Drake May, but I don't know who the other quarterback is you're replacing. So, if you have 2 quarterbacks and you had somebody else who was pretty decent, that's fine. I mean, Drake May's playing out of his mind, but still, if you have like just a serviceable other quarterback, you should be okay. But I love the Egbuka trade, right, Andrew?
Yeah, I love getting Egbuka. Can't give an A+ trade to moving away from Drake May, but B+.
No, that hurts my soul a little bit. But again, so you need the context. If you had Baker Mayfield on that team too, it's fine. Like if you still had Dak Prescott on that team, it's fine.
Dak,
Herbert, any of those guys, yeah. All right, look at me over here. Hey, pros. I'm 4-4 PPR. I want a top 5 running back. Thinking of sending RB in the side package here. So Lamar, Stafford, JSN, JJ, Tet, Downs, Booty. Those are the pieces we have. Yeah, you're definitely hurting at RB after Henry because all you got is, well, Dobbins is all right. KW3. So what would you suggest here in terms of movement? I want to get out of the Seattle business in the worst way.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone wants to buy into Seattle business is the issue. I think Dobbins is probably the RB you have to trade to get at least up to a top 5 level running back piece. So I think maybe it would be, again, I don't know what their other tight end is, so you probably don't want to trade Gadsden. If you had another tight end, I'd say maybe one of the tight ends could be moved. Maybe it's Dobbins and Lamar to get a top. I mean, did that get it done, right?
You could get Saquon for Dobbins and Lamar tomorrow, probably.
I think I would rather go for like Jacobs than Saquon, but
that's fine. Well, Jacobs isn't 100% healthy either right now.
Similar tier.
All right, let's go to Yeah Fella. Love the show. Thanks, fella. Appreciate you, man. Should I trade Rome Odunze for Kyron Williams and Jaylen Warren? I would say yes.
Yeah, if you need running backs, say DK London.
DK London, BTJ, Brees. Yeah, you need more help after Brees. If Brees is the only guy.
Well, basically, this week they have Kyle Monunga.
I got nobody. So, yeah. Zahir, keep or trade George Pickens, and for whom? I've also got Ceedee. I'm keeping Pickens right now. Unless you can put him on the block, and if you get blown away with an offer, that's cool.
Yeah,
but I'm not.
I think he's probably just. I think he's probably just a hold. Really, I don't think
Pickens is looking to get paid, man. Guys.
Yeah,
Pickens is trying to get paid.
He's catching his way out of Dallas.
Random, and then he's going to get overpaid somewhere else, and it's going to be a disaster.
Yep.
And then the Cowboys are going to be right back to square one, too, or looking at, we could use another pass rusher. We could use a pass rusher. And you know what? We kind of use another wide receiver there for CeeDee Lamb. Somebody else will work on the other side of him. So kind of back to square one where we were in the beginning of last year. So up the creek without a paddle. That's where we are right now. All right, 10-team PPR, 6-2, 3-way trade here. 3-way tie for first, upgrades to target. I have quarterbacks. Hurts, Dart. Okay, well, you don't need the 2 quarterbacks. So right off the bat, you could trade Dart, you do that, but obviously this week it's tough to do that because Hurts is on a bye. Javonte Williams, Brees Hall, Vidal, White, and Bucky. Okay, so we're good there. And wide receivers are Puka, Garrett Wilson, Tet, Worthy. Yeah, you need another wide receiver. That's definitely what you need here. So in this instance, if I had Bucky and White here, and then eventually Bucky takes over White, I think Vidal is the now piece to move for me. Vidal can help a team right now that's struggling. Get a wide receiver for Vidal. How about you?
Could you flip Brees Hall for Egbuka?
Maybe, especially on the bye week. Sure, I would do that too.
But I would agree. Hall and Vidal are probably the trade pieces.
All right, next up here we have DJ High Pros. Should I trade Nico Collins for Davante Adams? 10-team full PPR. Who do you want rest of the season? Nico or Davante?
You got to keep Davante.
Okay, Davante it is. Let's go to Paul's question. Who should I trade 10-man PPR? Ladd, Nico, Sutton, London, May, Dalton, Kincaid, Hunter Henry, Gibbs, KW3, Kyron, Woody Marks, and then DeAndre Swift. So who should you trade in this 10-team league here? Who is the odd man out? Look, I think London, Ladd, Nico, Sutton's a really good group. May's really good quarterback. I think you have enough wide receiver depth here that London would be the highest piece to move that you could probably still survive it, considering the depth you have, especially if Sutton continues to play well and Ladd continues to play well, Nico is healthy again. That's the big splash play here. The question is, can he pull it off?
I think maybe I would looks like the weakest point here is tight end, right? Kincaid is their tight end. So I would try to trade Kincaid and Swift to try to get up to tight end, the elite tier. One of those elite tight ends, because you're pretty stacked at running back, like Henry, Gibbs, Kyron. Walker's your RB4. That's pretty solid. So that's what I would probably do. Or Swift plus one of those running backs to upgrade another receiver.
All right, Lily is up next here. Boswell, a kicker, and Wan'Dale Robinson for Cardi and Irving. So basically it's Wan'Dale for Bucky Irving. So do it. Yes. Forget kickers. Doesn't matter, though. Kickers are dime a dozen around these parts. Knick-knack, trade away Warren and Hurts for London and Herbert. So Jalen Warren, is it Tyler Warren or Jalen Warren? That's the only question. I have Johnson and Rome and Dobbs.
That does matter.
It does matter. It does matter here. Let's assume it's Jalen Warren here.
I'd still rather have London and Herbert. I mean, Hurts and are Hurts and Herbert a wash to you? I'd still rather have Hurts, but I don't think it's like so far.
Well, yeah, they
obvious
have Jaylen Warren, so they're getting London and Herbert is what they're getting because they feel like they have depth at running back, and the only running back here in this move
I would rather have London and Herbert then.
Okay, so that's a yes for you there. Okay, let's go to Chris's question up here. What's up? I was offered Egbuka for Jalen Hurts. I lost Scadbo and I'm 4-4. Is Henry, Pollard, Henderson, Harvey, and then wide receivers are London. So look, so Jalen Hurts, who is your replacement QB? That's the only thing I don't know.
I presume that they would just be going to streaming. So
okay. Well, if you're just going to streaming, I would still want Egbuka here, especially because AJ Brown is hurt, Teth hasn't been good, and Downs is not enough.
And London's also hurt. So
and London's also hurt. So
you don't have any receivers to play this week. So yeah, Egbuka's on a bye too. So that doesn't help you.
Up here, I have wide receivers Chase, Waddle, Garrett Wilson. Trade ideas for Vidal, ATN, Genty, Warren. Look, Genty is theoretically the most talented by a long shot here. But the problem is his schedule isn't great. He's got 2 more games against Denver. The playoff schedule is not the best either. Vidal could be turning into a pumpkin. ATN is the guy probably that is safest to keep, and so is Warren. I think Genty brings you back the most, so I would float all these guys out there, and I'm okay starting these guys, but Genty I think is the one that brings you back the most. Vidal is the one that is the most uncertain going forward. All the other 3 have jobs, so that's how I look at this. How do you look at it, Andrew?
So I'd want to trade for Warren. Like that's the guy that I like the most to trade for, and based on your wide receiver depth, I would trade McLaurin. I mean, if you like your receiver depth, I mean, like, is Pittman for Warren probably works, right? Like that deal probably gets done. Pittman's been a touchdown machine, but if you feel good about the rest of your wide receiver depth, although McLaurin's hurt again, Garrett Wilson is currently. I guess you have Chase and Waddle at the top, so you're pretty good at the top. So yeah, I would say Pittman for Warren probably gets it done, or you could try to shoot higher with Genty, with Michael Pittman Jr. I mean, Pittman's been a star this year, catching a lot of touchdowns. So maybe you can actually get more. Throw Dowdle in. Maybe you get Pittman Dowdle for Genty, something like that. Maybe that could work.
All right. Next up here, we have, after Nick's question, we've got Jawan. Need running back help. I have Genty and nothing, basically. My wide receivers are Nico, Drake London, BTJ, JSN, Kittle, and then Jaden Daniels. I'm a 3 wide receiver league. All right. So this is kind of tough right now. So basically nothing behind Genty. So Nico, Drake London, BTJ. Look, you don't need BTJ and London. You got to trade one of those guys. I think those are the pieces that bring you back something else. Would you agree or disagree?
I would agree. I would do BTJ for Jaylen Warren.
Okay. BTJ for Jaylen Warren. That's good. That's perfect. Next up here, we have Travis's question here. 8-team PPR. Running backs are Henry, CMC, Tracy. Wide receivers are London, Adunze, Sutton, Johnston. Trade Henry, QJ, McMillan for Gibbs. What do you think of that trade?
Henry. What was the other guys? Sorry, the question's not pulled up here.
Hang on one second. Sorry, it didn't pull up?
No, I'm not seeing it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
There it is.
Yeah, I would just get. I'm cool. Trading away ancillary wide receiver pieces to get that top tier running back like Gibbs. So I'm fine with, especially 8-team league where you can probably get more depth at the other positions and you have other receivers. So I'm cool with it.
Okay, very good. Next up here, after Travis's question, we have another Hunter Henry or Gadsden this week and rest of season. Should you drop one of them? How do you deal with these? And then flex Jennings over Hunt or drop Jennings, play Hunt, and stash Benson. All right, let's take that last part first here. So would you play Jennings over Hunt this week?
Yeah. If Brock Purdy plays, I will play Jennings.
Okay, and if he doesn't, you play Hunt.
Yes.
Okay, and if that case, if you're not playing Hunt, would you drop Hunt for Benson?
No.
Okay. And then the first part of this, Gadsden or Henry this week, and then what do you want to do with the rest of the season with these guys?
Gadsden this week and rest of the season. I think that you can drop Henry. Henry's fine, but the Patriots and Drake May, he's just shown that he likes to spread it out. So one week it's Henry week, the next week it's Booty, the next week it's Diggs, the next week it's Matt Collins. So it's just hard to bank on. I think Henry's fine, in a pinch, but Gadsden has shown this really high ceiling the last couple weeks. So I don't think that's going away.
All right, next up here we have HF again, JMO and Spears for BTJ.
I don't want to trade for BTJ. Unfortunately, it's not good
Why?
right now.
Just health-wise, or just not what you like in the offense?
Just health-wise, not like what I've seen what he's doing in Lincoln's offense. We're getting breadcrumbs that Travis Hunter's going to emerge as the number 1 wide receiver out of the bye week. That scares me. And this is not a great matchup for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence, worst quarterback this year against zone coverage. Raiders, 3rd in zone coverage this year. So, not great.
Have Prescott and May and Tracy for Judkins. I think that's too much.
May and Tracy for Judkins. I mean, so this is one of those where you have a surplus, so it's like you don't really feel like you're losing a quarterback.
I guess like you didn't have Tracy the day before yesterday, so it's really just May for Judkins. It's May and a waiver wire claim for Judkins.
Well, would you rather move May or Prescott? I'd
rather move May. Prescott's going to throw for 5,000 yards this year, and I love May, but I just don't think he's going to get quite there. I just don't know. Like Tracy is fine, and Judkins still plays on the Browns, and there's going to be another quarterback change happening, and we don't know what that's going to look like. Like that's coming down the pike in the next 2 weeks.
It's going to be legendary.
We're going to see Shedeur Sanders. I don't know what it's going to be.
Legendary.
I don't love this deal. Like it's not the worst, but Judkins plays on an offense that unfortunately just doesn't work. So as good as he is, it doesn't work. That's my problem.
We like the mindset of trying to move off one of those quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Maybe you do it in a different way.
Like, can you get somebody better? Like that's what I'm trying to look at. All right, next is Gabriel. We have second in 10-team full PPR. My wide receivers are Keenan, Tetz, Sutton, Rome, London, Watson. RBs are Cook, Kamara. Trade London for Josh Jacobs. Do you have enough wide receiver depth to do that move? I say, I don't think you do.
Keenan, Tetz, Sutton, Rome, Watson.
I mean, maybe I guess maybe you do. I mean, Watson's kind of like this flyer, but I mean, I'd rather have Jacobs rest of season than London. The problem is, like, I just don't know if Keenan, Tetz, Sutton, Rome is enough to get it done.
I feel like the combination of those guys, it is enough, right? Like Allen pops off. McMillan's been really consistent. Again, not like a ceiling play just because he's on Panthers, but like he's been really consistent. And Rome, we've seen had really big games. So between those three,
you move Bucky to the flex. Is that what you do? Then when he comes back,
you can start Cook, Cook and Jacobs as your RB1, RB2. Like that's pretty lethal. So I think I would do. And then also Drake London. Again, both London and Jacobs are like a little bit banged up. So yeah.
All right. BTJ sell for Ramondre Stevenson for pennies on the dollar. No, I think you can get more for BTJ than Ramondre.
I would go for Jaylen Warren. Like that's who I would go for. Even Chase Brown. Like that was the trade last week, right? It was like BTJ, Chase Brown.
Yeah, it worked out. Chase Brown was pretty decent. 10-team PPR 3 and 5 trade for Pittman, DeAndre Swift, Nico Collins. Trade away Ja'Marr Chase, Krosky Merritt, and Williams. So you're getting Pittman, DeAndre Swift, and Nico for Ja'Marr. It's a pretty decent haul. It's not bad. I mean, Pittman and Collins are solid, I think. Swift is a startable running back every week. If you're trying to get out here before, winter comes here for Joe Flacco, I don't think it's the worst trade for Ja'Marr Chase. I don't love it in a 10-team league. I feel like you should be able to do better, but it's not the worst. I mean, Pittman
it all depends on what Nico does. Like that's what decides this deal.
Look, to me, JCM and JMO barely move the needle, so this is really a 3-for-1 deal, and I think that's a pretty good 3-for-1 deal for Ja'Marr. That's a cash-in deal for Ja'Marr if you just had it.
All right, no, if you can get behind it, I can co-sign.
It's not the greatest, but it's all right. By the way, Roma Dunze is dealing with a heel injury, according to what's going on there. And DJ Moore did not practice again today.
Colston Loveland is going to break out this week. It's guaranteed. All the receivers are hurt. It's the Bengals. Yeah, all the Colston Loveland this week, everybody. 5 and 3, half PPR, 12-team league. Who to trade? You have JD5 here. You got Javonte, you got Spears, Hall, Sampson, Benson, and then you've got Amon-Ra, Sutton, Ricky Pearsall's done nothing. Flowers. Look, Flowers is back in action now because Lamar's back. I assume we're talking T. Higgins, not Jaden Higgins, and then Kraft at tight end. Look, I want to move Ricky Pearsall. I've had it with him. Like, enough. Goodbye. I'm done. If you could put him and Spears together and get something you could start every week, that's what I would try to do. I would trade Brees Hall.
Okay, there you go. Let's get going. A couple of guaranteed supers left. We got 4 more to get to. Tet, Chase Brown, Spears, and Nico. For Nico and Bucky, excuse me. So Chase Brown, Spears for Nico and Bucky. You can get Nico and Bucky, that's great. And you're 7-1, do it.
Yeah.
Tet, Chase Brown, and Spears. I want Nicky. That's how you win a league, right? Those guys if you get a Bucky healthy, forget it. Christian's up next. I traded Bijan for Bowers and Pickens, Worthy and Pollard for Dowdle this week. So traded Bijan for Bowers and Pickens, Worthy and Pollard. I'm a little confused about this word. There's a lot of N's and 4s in here. Am I reading this correctly here?
For all 4. Okay, so I think it's one trade. So it's Bijan for Bowers and Pickens, and then Worthy and Pollard for
Worthy
Dowdle.
and Pollard for Dowdle. Well, I wouldn't have traded Bijan for Bowers and Pickens. I think that's a terrible deal, first of all.
I don't like that either. Yeah.
And then Worthy and Pollard for Dowdle, I think is a lot to give up for Dowdle, but I like Dowdle. This week I don't like him, but I'm sitting on Monangai. It was already you got Saquon too. I just would not have traded Bijan for that. I think you need to get more for Bijan. Just because he had a bad game or two does not mean he's not all world still. Order these stashes, please. Benson, Henderson, Monangai, Davis. For me, it's Henderson, it's Davis, it's Monangai, it's Benson. That's my order. What's yours?
Henderson, Benson, Monangai, Davis.
Okay. Michael's up next here. Running backs are Dowdle, Pollard, Henry, Tracy, Bashard Smith, and Benson. Receivers are A.J. Brown, Lamb, McMillan, and Franklin. Should I use RBs to possibly get another receiver, or who should I target with a running back to trade?
I would trade Tracy. Do you think you could Tracy and A.J. Brown for Egbuka?
I think you could try. I think so. I think you can, actually. Especially if somebody's an RB needy. I think you can do that. I like getting Egbuka. You know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
Mr. Charton is up next here. Need wide receiver depth, but also QB recommendations for a trade. I have Mayfield, Stafford, Achane, Kyron, Hall, Jefferson, Sutton, Kelsey. That's what the team looks like. 2 and 5 right now. Not a good. How are you 2 and 5? I don't understand. It's not. That's only 7 games.
Bye weeks. Hall has been up and down. Jefferson's been kind of not really a lot of ceiling games.
You can't be 2 and 5. Nobody gets a bye week in real fantasy.
No, that's true.
So,
I'm trying to justify the losing record, and you're like, no, mathematically this doesn't check out, Erickson.
Look, if you're 2 and 6, I don't know what you're doing here at this point. Look, I mean, Stafford. Look, Mayfield's played really well. Look, you got Achane this week with a good matchup. Kyron's back. You've had some bad bye week situations. This is a pretty good team. I think I just roll with it. I mean, it sucks to say that, but if you want to sell Hall off that huge game, if he didn't help you win last week, he ain't helping you again. So, I mean, unless you want to cash in Jefferson for a bunch more pieces, but I don't know what else you'd get. It's kind of a weird time to sell him. You can't really sell him high, I feel like.
I would say sell high on Breece Hall for Egbuka, right?
Okay.
I don't know if the Jets
but you can't play Egbuka this week, and if you're 2 and 6, that's not going to help you. That's my only point.
Then
you're 2 and 7.
Who's a receiver you can trade for that's playing this? Oh,
Pickens?
No, Marvin Harrison Jr. He's playing Dallas. That's what you got to trade for, and his stock's pretty low.
Yeah, but it's like 1 week. I have Jordan Mason, Debo, and QJ. Trade advice. Trade them all.
Trade them all for.
If you could send those 3 guys for one good guy, you do it. That's how I feel about that. And you might be able to do that. There might be a roster that's just riddled with injuries. This year's been brutal for injuries. Need drop 1. Franklin, Watson, DK. Who would you want? Jahmyr DK? Okay. He's played well, though. Got to give him credit. Yeah. Griffin traded Hall, St. Brown, K9 for Bucky, Davante, and Adams. T.E. Adams?
Davante. I think it's like
Tay Adams.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Why don't you trade for K Adams while you're at it? Thoughts on this trade is 7-1. Traded Hall, St. Brown, and K9 for Bucky, Javante, and Davante Adams.
Okay, so you get Bucky, you get Javante.
You got to get away St. Brown, which I don't love, but you did get a lot back. I
Seems
like
a pretty fair deal.
B+.
You're getting. I think you're winning running back here too, which I think is probably.
You're definitely winning running back.
Yeah,
but you're losing wide receiver to do it.
Yeah, but I think that in the grand scheme of your fantasy team, like more people are hurting at running back, I think, than receiver. So I think that this is a net positive for your roster, even if you downgrade at receiver a little bit.
All right, let's get Richie's question in here. Non-PPR, my wide receivers are JSN, Chase, Worthy, Pearsall, Watson. RBs are Jacobs, Hall, Warren, Spears. I have BO. Well, that's a problem. You should probably do deodorant and get, take a shower once in a while, Richie. My QB tight end is McBride, Gatson, Kraft. Why do you have those 3 tight ends? You got to trade these tight ends.
You
should I
trade
trade for Bijan and Herbert? Who should I trade for Bijan and Herbert? So Bijan and Herbert you want to get here.
Whatever tight end that they want, like make that part
All
of the
of them.
deal. Like, I don't know how you're not pulling your hair out every single week, Rich. You're trying to figure out which tight end to pick. Man, they're all so good. So, yeah, I would just trade whichever one that they want, make them make the decision, probably either McBride or Kraft. I would probably trade McBride just because I think that Kyler coming back isn't.
I got to be honest with you. I don't think this is the path for this team. I think Jacobs, Hall, and Warren is perfectly good running backs to go and win with. Just trade McBride for another wide receiver because now with this Joe Flacco news, after Ja'Marr Chase and JSN, you don't have much going on there. Yeah. I mean, Watson, Worthy, Pearsall's not great. McBride or Gadsden, whoever somebody wants for a wide receiver, you need another wide receiver. Forget Bijan. You're fine at
do you do McBride for Jefferson just straight up?
If you could do it, great. I mean, I'm all for it.
I mean, McCarthy's starting, right? Carson Wentz is gone. So
I have Genty, Marvin Harrison, Tet, Ceedee, Rice, Pearsall, and Chase Brown. Tet and Brown for Kyron and Kamara. I don't think I want Kamara right now.
I mean, Kamara is playing on a terrible offense, and he might be injured. Mm-hmm. You can't trade for Kamara right now.
Yeah, I'm in agreement on that one. I have a trade here for Chase Brown and Tet for Kyron and Kamara. Yeah, I think we already addressed that scenario there. All right, next up here, full PPR 12 team 3 and 5. Would you do either of these deals? Gibbs and Davante Adams for Butte, Gibbs and Davante Adams or Butte for Rice and Genty.
Are Adams and Butte like
how are they the same level? I don't know. Well, let's say Gibbs and Butte for Rice and Genty.
Actually, wait. Let me hold that.
I want Gibbs. I still want Gibbs.
Gibbs and Adams for Rice and Genty. I think Gibbs and Rice, let's cross them out. So, I'd rather have Adams than Genty, I think. So, if it's Booty, sure.
I like deal number 2. I want Judkins and get rid of Wandale, Pearsall, and Marks for Judkins. That's a win. Okay. That's just a bunch of extraneous pieces.
You should have put the number 2 deal as the number 1 deal.
Yeah. All right, let's go to HF's last question here. Daniels, Dowdle, Chase Brown, Tet, Fannin for Warren, Lamar, Kyron, and Bateman. Well, Bateman's a non-factor here for me. So Warren, Lamar, and Kyron for so Lamar is better than Daniels. Dowdle and Warren, I think, could be similar the rest of season, especially because that split workload. And then you're also getting Chase Brown, Tet, and Fannin for Kyron Williams. So that's a lot of bodies here. So it's just a matter of you like depth or you like the better players. That's what this is about here.
I think because the other thing is that we're not getting
Lamar. I want the Lamar side.
That's kind of what I was settling on too, because we don't see there are other parts of this deal, right? There's another piece added on because you're getting a roster spot, and we don't know if Bateman is really going to be part of that roster. And also, getting Lamar back, who knows? Maybe Bateman could do something with Lamar Jackson as his quarterback. So I think Lamar is the best piece. That's the side I would agree on as well.
All right, next question up here. Does Pete Carroll get fired after Sunday? No, I don't think he does. I don't think they fire Pete Carroll this season.
I think it's more of it's just a one and done situation.
Probably. There'll be a lot of one and dones. The Jets will be one and dones. Lots of one and dones. All right. Trayshawn, trade advice to get some stable running back, or am I okay? Traded James Cook for Amon-Ra St. Brown. My running backs are Benson, Walker, and Vidal. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think that was trading James Cook from that running back room. I don't feel very good about, Andrew. How do you feel? I mean, look, the wide receivers are great. JSN, Jefferson, Amon-Ra. That's great. I mean, if you could flip Olave right now for another running back, that's what I would do. I get it. You got Amon-Ra. That's cool. You wanted to get Amon-Ra, but you got to turn around and make another deal with Olave right now for an RB. Would you? What running back would you want for him?
Jalen Warren.
Okay, you just want Jalen. That's the answer to everything today.
Well, I do a trade show where I have to pick running backs to buy and sell, and Warren was my pick this week. So it's an easy answer. So
it's just an easy answer there. All right, everybody. The easy answer sometimes is the right answer. That's what we know. Hopefully. There. Let's see if we can get another question or two in here. Let's get this one in. H13, 10-team PPR. Lost Scattaboo, got Baker and Stafford, Kyron Judkins, Chase Brown, Dowdle, Woody. We got Rushy Rice, Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison, Flowers. So it's a lot of meh. Got offered Bijan, Egbuka, Quentin Johnson for Rushy Rice and Flowers. I take that deal.
And Kyron.
You're getting, that's fine. Rushy Rice, Kyron, and Flowers, and you're getting Bijan and Egbuka. That's fine. I do that.
Quentin Johnson.
Yeah, whatever. QJ is whatever at this point.
I think you still got to get. Yeah, I mean, if you get a chance to get Bijan, if you have a chance to buy low on Bijan after 2 bad games, I think you got to take advantage of it. So,
all right, take advantage of the offer at Hard Rock Bet 2. Bet $5, get 150 in bonus bets when you hit. Download the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app today. Also, download the FantasyPros app. Use the tools like the Trade Analyzer to make the right moves this trade season. And, of course, don't forget, drop your comments below, like the video, subscribe, and you can win the Fantasy Loser Toilet Seat from TrophySmack. That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Andrew Erickson, I'm Joey P. Go get Jaylen Warren, everybody. We'll see you next time, kids. Nothing but Jaylen Warren today. And, man, everybody wants Bijan off their team. Andrew, what the hell happened there?
You laid an egg against the worst run defense in the NFL.
So what? It's football. Kirk Cousins was playing quarterback and Drake London